Hello and welcome to What I Watched Last Month, which is a monthly series where I talk about what I watched last month. Well, a big theme for this episode will be the fact that I'm making a short movie right now. So a lot of the stuff that I have watched this month has been for like inspiration, since it's a sci-fi / comedy and it's about aliens. So I was like, what's a show that's sci-fi about aliens? X-Files. I literally know nothing about the X-Files, I only know the intro because it's like a meme from like 2016. I just watched the first episode and I was like, oh my god, why is so much happening? The first episode is so overwhelming, like genuinely so much happens and there's just no breaks. It's just thing happens, then thing happens, then thing happens, and it's just way too fast. It is good though, like don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, it's just way too fast. And that kind of like put me off kinda, because I was like, if this is the full show, I cannot watch this if it's just constant just stuff happening. So I didn't watch a few episodes for a while, but then I watched X-Men with my family. Not very good. That's not inspiration for all, but my sister was just like, do you want to watch this? I was like, not really, but sure. Then I watched Alien. I found the first Alien to be quite boring and then the second Alien to be very good. So, and then I was like, what am I gonna think to Alien 3? I've always just like wondered about it because it's like David Fincher and he's like one of the best directors, but this is regarded as a not very good movie. Like people say it's like a bad movie. And I watched it and I was like, it's fine. Like this movie doesn't need to exist, but like, it's still pretty good. I just felt bad for Ripley because like she escapes from an alien and then she's like, okay, I can escape, and then she goes into cryosleep. She wakes up and then there's another alien and then she goes to cryosleep again and there's another alien. It's just like, how many times are they gonna do this? Now, a movie I personally have been very excited for. Instantly, as soon as this was coming out, I went to cinema. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Everybody wanted that. It's a kids movie. I'm not gonna be like, technically the writing wasn't very good. But no, the writing is atrocious. It's genuinely terrible. For a movie about Mario traveling through galaxies, he doesn't really do much in the galaxies. He just kind of goes to them and then leaves. Bowser Jr. steals Princess Peach's castle to impress his dad. He gets a UFO and transports it into the air, and then I kind of forgot why, but he drops it, I don't know, and they land in the B world. Now, in the Super Mario Galaxy game, one of my favorite games of all time, that's like the whole first level or whatever. They spend literally it's a 5-minute scene. They go to the B castle. Queen Bee is like, hey, you're right pricks, you know, you're gonna go to prison forever. And then Bowser's like, no, how about I just go to prison instead? And the Bee Queen's like, okay. So then Mario and Luigi, they go off, and then Bowser's like, oh, I'm in prison for the rest of my life. Bowser Jr. just picks him up. The writing, I could never write something that good. Oh my god. Now, if you're watching this video and you haven't watched my videos before, you might be thinking, who is this idiot? Why is he watching all these terrible movies? What's wrong with him? He's watching X-Men, Alien. Well, how about I tell you about this little movie called Pizza Movie? Now, let's just say I watched Pizza Movie with its intended purpose, and I do not remember anything from it. The only thing I remember is the Inglourious Bastards parody, which I thought was the funniest thing at the time. And I saw a clip the other day on my Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, that was actually quite funny. And like, I saw people joking about this movie, being like, this looks like the worst thing ever. You should watch this. Like, it's actually like very funny. And I think it still holds up because normally comedy movies like this, they normally have like a big star as like the main character. That's normally what makes it funny, since it's like Will Ferrell or like Ben Stiller being funny. But then when it's just like the kid from Stranger Things and some other guy, you're like, hey, that's not a really famous guy and they're actually very funny. And it's like, well, the Inglourious Basterds scene is generally amazing. I love it. I haven't even watched Inglourious Basterds. I just like, no more joke movies. Got all these stupid rubbish. We're getting serious now. We're talking about Arrival. I've been on my Denis Villeneuve journey. I started with Prisoners many years ago. I was like, this is one of the best films I've ever watched. I watched June and I was like, this is amazing. So like mid last year, I was like, maybe I should watch more, you know? He seems like a pretty cool guy. I watched Blade Runner. I was like, no. And then I rewatched Prisoners and I rewatched June. I was like, wait, this guy is generally like one of the best directors ever. And I still haven't watched Incendiary. I think it's pronounced like that. But I've heard that one's also super good. I'm making a movie about an alien. This is regarded as one of the best alien movies. And yeah, I love how he represents the aliens. It's like an extremely realistic way of like how actual aliens are. Probably the most, I mean, I don't know how, like, we don't know what aliens would like if they would come here, but like if it was gonna be anything, it would probably be a lot like Arrival. Like these like big octopus people, and they're like, I'm gonna draw a set, and it has a little line, and you have to decipher this. And then just some people blow it up. Spoilers. Sorry. No, that doesn't happen. I promise. That would never happen. No, but I just love how it doesn't focus on the aliens itself. It focuses on the people. As like the aliens, we literally know nothing about. Just like how the people know literally nothing about them. They just know how to say, hi, I'm an alien, and my name is Clark. And it focuses on the characters. and like what they were going through talking to the aliens. And it's like, Jeremy Renner, why are you good at acting? What are you doing in here? Get back on your app. If only there was an app I could talk about this movie on. And my sister had never watched Star Wars, and I was like, if somebody's never watched Star Wars, I want that chance to watch it with them and go, hey, that's Star Wars. You see that guy? He's Yoda. Don't know if you know who that is. I was like, come on, we gotta watch Star Wars. So we did. She thought it was just alright, it's just not good enough. And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember I watched the X-Files. I watched episode 2. It's called Deep Throat. Not too sure about that. And this one is a lot more chilled back and still very good. Like, I was like, whoa, this is cool. And I was like kind of like struggling because I was like, how am I gonna watch this shit? Like, should I just watch a bunch? Because like, I'm working on a film. I don't really want to watch a show really. So like, how am I gonna watch this? I actually looked online and it turns out it's actually better to not just like watch it all. Like when you watch a show, you watch like 2 or 3 episodes a night, and then the next day you watch a few more, the next day you watch a few more. It turns out it's actually better to just watch like 1 a week or something with X-Files. And I was like, yeah, that's actually fine. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So for the next like few months, I'm just gonna be like in these videos, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, X-Files season 5 episode 14. Crazy. But no, Deep Throat's good. Then I was like, okay, I searched what are the best movies in space. Obviously like 2001 came up, Interstellar. I already watched them. I'm kind of niche. Then Solaris, I don't know, that came up and I was like, this looks interesting. And I was like, some nice Russian like 1970s film, sure, go on. And when watching it, I was just kind of like, oh, it's like 2001, but instead of like some evil AI, his dead girlfriend just comes back to life. And you know, I like a good slow burn film. Like 2001 Space Odyssey, hours long, hardly anything happened, but it's still amazing. This is also like 2 hours something and hardly anything happens, but I was just like, it's fine, I guess. Like, I just didn't really get anything from it. And then when I finished watching it, I was like, oh, that was a cool concept, not really that interesting. Like the movie itself, still quite interesting, good ending as well, I like that, but I didn't really like enjoy watching it that much. Solid 3 maybe. And then I'm like logging on Letterboxd, I go, it's like a 4.2. I'm like, okay, where did that come from? And then I'm looking around and I just see it's directed by Andrzej Tarkovsky. That's how you say his name. And I'm like, I swear he's one of the best directors of all time. I look, he is. And I'm like, oh, that's not very good. Sorry that I'm giving this movie a 3. And you know, I think this is a good thing about movies. I just didn't enjoy watching this. But then again, I might come back like in a year and go, genuinely, this is one of the best movies I've ever watched. So hopefully that's what it is. And you'll see me talking about that again one time. I was like really enjoying it at first, but then kind of like halfway, I kind of just completely lost interest. And I was just like, I kind of just want this movie to end, I'm gonna be honest. And then like it ended, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool with like the clouds and it's like the camera's going away. And I was like, okay, maybe like a slow burn crazy sci-fi drama isn't the kind of thing I need right now. Maybe I just need a super fun, super cool, super alien, super 8. That's what the movie is called, Super 8. And I'm watching this and I'm like, this feels familiar. I'm just continuing to watch this and go, oh yeah, this is just Stranger Things, but a bit different. I'm like, okay, when is release? I see it's before Stranger Things. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. Stranger Things copy of Super 8. But no, this again, it takes an hour to start. Like, I hate when movies just don't start. Like, why are you setting up a movie so long? For some reason, movies are really dark as well. I don't know why. Like, you just can't see anything. I hate when movies, it's like kind of like 2010, like, movie. Everything's just so dark and grey. And it's just like, why did anybody think that was good? Like, at the time, how was anyone like, you know what? Movies, they should be dark, grey, so you can't see anything. Like, whose decision was that? And then it's like the kids, they're making a movie and I see a train coming. I'm like, okay, there's gonna be like something's gonna go wrong, I guess. Like the train's unexpected. And then I'm just watching and then I see a car ram into the front of the train and then genuinely it's like a 5-minute just explosion scene. Like, I'm like, what was on this train? Like, look up a clip from this film. Like, genuinely a train just blows up. It's so like unexpected and crazy. It's kind of like that scene in Bullet Train where it just like rams through everything. Imagine that, but with explosions and it's in a desert at night. But no, I just didn't really find it that interesting as well. Like, it takes too long to start. It's like there's an alien and it's evil, and then we don't even like, the alien's not even like a big character really. It's just kind of weird. But then while the credits rolled, it showed the movie that they made and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of sweet. I like that. I can see why people really like this. And then I was like, I want some more X-Files. Just give it all that's me. And I watched episode 3, Squeeze. I put on, and I'm like, I'm excited for some Scully and Mulder, just classical alien hunting adventures. Can't wait. I turn it on, there's like some creepy, like Pennywise eyes in a drain. I'm like, okay, that's a bit unnecessary. Just like the scariest thing ever. It's kind of like that scene in Parasite where he's like walking up the stairs. That was a bit unnecessary. And then it's like a guy who can like squeeze through vents. He's like this crazy killer, and he has like glowing orange eyes, and he hides in the dark, and it's like genuinely like it's scary. I didn't know the show was scary. I thought it was just like a mystery. I assumed there was gonna be like some scary scenes. Generally this episode is scary, and I shouldn't have watched this at night. And also there's like a conversation that starts with Scully and some other guy who looks like Quentin Tarantino, and they're talking. Oh, there was like blah blah blah. Oh yeah, and that thing with the attacks on the Twin Towers. What do you mean the attacks on the Twin Towers? I swear this is like from the like early 90s. I check up, I see 1993. I'm like, some things that I don't know what's going on. And I genuinely think like, have they like are they actually like time travelers, the people who made the X-Files, and like they've somehow predicted this, or like how have they done this? And it turns out there was another attack on the Twin Towers. I genuinely didn't know that. I was like, well, I guess people really don't like these towers then. I feel bad for them. But no, the X-Files did not predict 9/11. And then I was like, okay, I'm writing a script right now. I need to write good dialogue. What's a film with some good dialogue? Probably the most famous example, 12 Angry Men. Regarded as one of the best films of all time, and like the best dialogue of all time. It's very simple, one room, 12 men, they just talk about it. And yeah, it's weird watching them. One of the best movies of all time. And you're watching this and you're like, oh yeah, this is quite good. And then you see a moment like when he pulls out the knife and he goes, how about this knife then? And then the scene when he's like, hey, you see them eye marks where the glasses are? And you're like, oh. And then the guy and he's like, and then he contradicts himself. And you're like, oh, idiot. And then the genuinely one of the best scenes I've ever seen, when the racist guy just starts arguing and then everyone else just like gets up and looks away. Like it's so beautiful. Okay, yeah, maybe this is one of the best films of all time. Not sure I'm gonna incorporate that into my movie, but you know, it was a good watch. And then some more sci-fi, Close Encounters with a Third Kind, a bit of Spielberg. This also, like, I'm realizing this now we're recording this. I watch a bunch of like classic sci-fi things and I'm like, it's alright. I think I realized I don't actually like sci-fi. But when I say that, I don't mean like a genre. I mean like the more like typical sci-fi where it's like aliens are coming and what do we do? Like I don't really enjoy that kind of sci-fi, which is basically what in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's basically just 2 hours of people going crazy going, oh no, aliens are coming, and then at the end the aliens come and then they play a song, then they go away. Yeah, good movie, yeah. And then as you would know from the thumbnail, maybe who's that in the thumbnail? It's Homelander. What's he doing? Genuinely don't know, because I started watching The Boys last month. I watched episode 1 and episode 2. I've never really liked The Boys. I've just been, it's like kind of cringy. It's kind of like, okay, it's parodying superhero movies, and then it's just whatever. And then all of my friends just talk about it all the time, and it's so annoying. And I was just like, okay, I'll watch it just like casually. I watched episode 1 and 2 last month, and I was like, okay, when is this show gonna start? I watched episode 1. I was like, okay, an hour long. It's a solid intro. A train runs through somebody, that's alright, and then nothing happens, and I'm like, okay. And then I watch episode 2 and also nothing happens, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch this show. So I'm just like, okay. And I tell my friends, hey, nothing happens in the first 2 episodes, so I'm not gonna watch it. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I'm just sat around, they're just constantly talking about The Boys. It's getting very annoying. My friend also spoiled some things because I said I wasn't gonna watch it, about certain characters dying. My friend's like, oh, you should carry on watching it. And I'm like, I don't really want to. And he's like, no, you really should, because it gets good in season 2. I'm like, so I'm like Googling, and I'm like, when does like The Boys get good? And it says like episode 3, and I'm just like, okay, great. So I then watched season 1 episode 3, and I was like, oh, this is actually quite good. I enjoy this. But I wasn't too hooked, so I was just like, okay, that was a good episode. Maybe I'll come back and watch another one. But then I was with my friends, and we were intoxicated, and I was like, oh, let's watch Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. And my friend was like, no, we're watching Scott Pilgrim. And I was like, I guess, sure. And yeah, Scott Pilgrim is awesome. I love it. And then I was like, okay, you made me watch Scott Pilgrim. You're watching Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping, one of my favorite films of all time. Such a good film. If you haven't watched, watch it now. It's very fun to watch while intoxicated, so I would recommend. And then I'm like, okay, this is the make or break whether I'm gonna watch this show. I watched season 4 of The Boys, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. So I just finished the season, and I was like, actually pretty good. Well done, The The Boys. You made a superhero show without any superheroes fighting each other. Really? Not really. I was like, well done. That's very good of you. I mean, it's not as good as people say it is, but it's still pretty good. You know? And then another thing I watched, and I was like, this isn't very good. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I watched it last year. I watched the director's cut because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna watch it properly, I'm gonna watch the director's cut. I watched it and it's generally the most boring thing ever. I hate this. Some of it was cool though, like the cinematography and stuff. Like a few months ago, I was like, okay, maybe I should just watch the normal version. And I was just been putting it off. Then one day I was just like, you know what? Go on. I'm gonna watch it. And I did. And it is very good. Like, I don't understand why you would watch the director's cut, but you know, if you want to. But the thing I really liked about it was the fact that it's 3 hours long. It doesn't feel like 3 hours long. Like, I watched it and I was like halfway through, and like halfway through is like a normal movie length, but I was still like, this feels like halfway through a movie. I'll just carry on. And, you know, it's really good. And then since nothing is in cinema at the start of the month, a lot of the time they just go, hey, do you know this like really good movie? We'll just put it in cinema. Why not? They had a Kira in cinema, and I'm watching this and I'm like, this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen ever. This is really good. And then halfway through it's just kind of like government speaking, and I'm just like, can we just skip this part? No, I'm joking. One of my favorite clips is Speed, and he's watching The Boys, and it's like a starlight scene and he just skips through it, and I'm just like, yeah, average Boys fan be like, but no, the government scene, like, well, it's not like a scene, it's like the whole middle section is just kind of confusing, but like not in like a good way, in like a, wait, what's actually going on? I don't know what's happening. And then it kind of got towards the end when they're like having the crazy battles, and I'm like, ooh, it's getting good again. And then the ending, which I don't think I can explain the end. I don't think anybody can explain the ending. Like, if you know, you know. But basically they just created the universe, so you know, it's quite bold having that as the ending of your movie, the creation of the universe, you know. Like, not many people can pull it off. So well done, Akira, for doing that. I always thought like Akira was the guy on the bike, and then watching it I was like, okay, maybe Akira is the other guy that puts his hand on his head. Then it turns out no, it's just some little baby thing. He's like God. I was like, oh, okay, that's Akira. And then I want to watch Twin Peaks again. I just really want it. I don't know what was going on that night. I was just like, I really want to watch Twin Peaks. So I was like, okay, I'll get a movie subscription. And I did actually watch the first episode of season 2, and then I was just kind of got tired halfway, and I was like, okay, I'll watch this another time. And I was like, okay, I'll watch something on here. What is it? And I saw No Other Choice. I was like, people say that's good. My friend says it's good. I'll watch it. And yeah, it is good. I didn't like Old Boy, and like, I hadn't watched much Korean cinema. Like, I love Parasite and Memories of Murder, which is Bong Joon-ho, and it turns out it's actually quite similar to a Bong Joon-ho movie. I was like, oh, thank you, Park, for making this similar to like Parasite and stuff. I would say it's similar as like it starts off with like just a family movie, and then kind of halfway it changes to like a crime thriller, and it's Korean. So but they're very good. People have just been talking about Speed Racer. Like, I don't know why. Like, I think they like remastered it in like America in cinema, so people have just been like going to watch it and go, wait, we watched this movie like 10 years ago and said it sucked, but no, it's actually quite good. And I was like, okay, I feel like I'm missing out here. So I watched it, and I did not expect it to be like this. Like, the only thing I knew was it's like the bad guy from Wreck-It Ralph. And then I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, that's like cool. Every like shot is on a green screen, and it's like the brightest film I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, I actually quite like this. And it's like, I'm trying to think what it's similar to. Oh, Devil Wears Prada, that's what I'm thinking of. Where it's like other people just view it as like dressing up in costumes, but then this guy, and like his mum literally says, is like racing. It's like, I come to watch you make a painting. This movie's beautiful. Why is it dropping a quote like that in this kind of movie? I was like, well, this movie actually might be beautiful. It's a very one of a kind movie. Like, movies aren't like this. Like, nobody else has made a movie like this. It does make sense like that it's the directors of The Matrix who would make this. And then I watched The Boys season 2, which I agree with my friend is better than season 1. I don't really have much to say, but I just want to talk about, I think it's episode 3. Yeah, Over the Hill with the Sword of 1,000 Men. It's like one of the highest rated episodes, and I'm just gonna describe how I view this episode. So it starts off, Billy works up about his wife. Huey has PTSD because his girlfriend died and he blew up somebody. You know, it's the classical. It happens like every single second. It's generally so annoying. Can they shut up? It makes me not like the show as much. Generally, how much Butcher just doesn't shut up about his wife, and how Huey just has flashbacks every 5 seconds. It's generally so annoying. You're on the boat. They've kidnapped Kamika's brother, and then because he's like a terrorist or whatever, this woman's like, hey, bring him to this underground sewer thing. They're like, okay. They get a boat and they're driving there, and then Homelander's doing stuff, and then he hears about it and he's like, okay guys, let's go stop this. This is the only good scene in the whole episode, I'd say. The Deep rides a whale. It is generally my favorite shot of the whole show. It's just the Deep and he's riding a whale, and then blah blah blah. I'm not gonna, like, if you haven't watched it, I'm not gonna say what happens, but they get inside the sewer, and you know, Homelander and the Seven are coming. This is like the first time out of the whole 8 episodes of season 1, and this is the 3rd episode of season 2. 11 episodes, each an hour long, and this is the first time the boys and the Seven are meeting. Enemies. This is the first time they are meeting. It's gonna be crazy. Starlight bumps into Huey. Homelander's like, kill him. Starlight's like, no. Homelander's like, do it. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna kill my best friend. And then Butcher's like, alright mate, got this guy here. But he crushes him. By the way, this is basically Superman. He's covered in about, like, you know, quite a lot of rocks. It would kill a normal person, but the fact that this is literally one of the most powerful people ever, how is he not getting out of there? No idea. They're like, okay, let's run. They run away, and then Stormfront bumps into Kamika and Kamika's brother, and you're thinking, okay, we have 2 very powerful superheroes versus a very powerful superhero. We're finally going to get a fight between superheroes. Stormfront basically just instantly kills Kamika's brother while Kamika just sits there and does nothing. I just want to know why this is one of the highest rated episodes. Are like people actually watching this show? Because I know it's a joke where like boys fans when there's dialogue instead of porn and gore. No thanks. You're telling me that's like the writers are like, okay, they're finally meeting the 2 main groups that are enemies in the show, and this is like how the first scene is gonna be. It's just like the writing is so bad. Like the only thing that saves this episode is the Deep riding a whale. Genuinely. Always that the thing that saves an episode. But apart from that, the season's actually quite good. And before this video ends, also, casually, I've also been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Before I go to bed, I just watch a few episodes, and I would just like to say it's genuinely the funniest thing I've ever watched. My friend said this today, actually. Watch the show, it will make you a funnier person. It'll also make you like kind of a prick, because they're all pricks. But you know, when I mean I watch a few episodes before I go to bed, I mean I've watched 6 seasons. If that doesn't tell you how good it is, then I don't know what will. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Go watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Goodbye.